So, that was a very high bar set by the Maids of Honor. Those were very, very beautiful speeches. And so, it is with great fear and trepidation that I would like to welcome up the best men, Tim and Chris McLeod.
Hello, can you hear me? All right. Good evening, everyone. As I'm pretty sure everybody knows here, we are Chris and Timmer, Matthew's brothers, and we have the privilege of sharing a few words with you tonight. Before we share any words, and of course some funny Matthew memories, we just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge all the hard work that's been put into today, decorating the church and this beautiful place here, as well as all the efforts put into showers, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, the rehearsal dinner, and everything leading up to today, especially in the midst of an extremely strange and challenging season. Thank you to Mom and Dad, to Dwayne and Jody, grandparents, extended family, Gerard and Peter, and the wedding party, and for all of you for coming tonight, because I know that Matthew and Amber, it means so much to have you here to celebrate.
As Matthew's brothers, we have a combined 40 plus years of knowing him. We have journeyed with him from the very beginning, when he would throw worms, or what he called nerds, into the pond and watch the fish fight over them, or stubbornly hold peas in his mouth for hours on end, so he wouldn't have to swallow them at the dinner table, to where he is now, finishing his university degree and marrying the girl of his dreams. Those years are filled with countless classic Matthew moments, and for the enjoyment of everyone here, we each want to pick just a few that we thought should be remembered tonight. Also, Amber, we just thought we should fill in any blanks and make sure that you know what you've gotten yourself into.
Many of us know that Matthew is very passionate about sharing stories through music. Fewer people know, however, that storytelling is actually a very old passion of his. When he was little, he used to memorize picture books, the classic being, if you give a pig a pancake. And at family gatherings, he used to sit by the fireplace and gather around an audience full of grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and anyone else who happened to be there, and tell these stories completely from memory, with very clear articulation and pronunciation. And speaking of pigs, actually, pigs were Matthew's favorite animal for a very long time. He had an entire piggy collection that I think he gathered from trips to the dollar store with Grandma and Grandpa, and used to carry them around in his little hands around the house with him. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he actually had a piggy-themed birthday party one year.
When he was about 5 or 6, Dad bought Matthew a mini drum set from Toys R Us, which was the fuel on the fire for his passion for drums and music. This marked the end of the quiet season at the McLeod household, which I was not a fan of personally, to be fair, until now. So get ready, Amber, because that's going to your guys' house now. But in all seriousness, the Toys R Us kit was one of the first steps in Matthew's drums and music journey, which has taken him from living room jam sessions to playing at church before he could even see over top of the drum kit, to stages all over the province and even the country. A couple summers ago, he had the amazing chance to perform with Gerard and Peter's band, O'Connell, at the No Greater Love Music Festival in Cochrane, Alberta. Who knew that the Toys R Us kit would have such a big impact?
Some other classic Matthew memories include always eating the cookie dough at home, which led to his love for cookie dough ice cream at Kawartha Dairy. Three scoops every time.
Large. Playing game sticks in the basement.
Ripping off Chris with bogus hockey card trades when he couldn't understand what was going on.
Brutal. Wearing a hat to bed to try to keep his hair from growing curly.
epic tubing wipeouts at the cottage,
Numerous of fun guide summer fishing trips with events that have already been somewhat described today, so I will not go over them again.
and the countless times he has gotten mistaken for me and vice versa. Already tonight, my wine went to Matthew. Also, all the metal concerts he used to go to are fond memories. I remember once, it's been mentioned already, he was at a metal show in Chicago with Braden and Sheldon, and I think Leighton, were you there as well? A few friends, and Braden's car completely broke down, leaving them stranded in Chicago overnight. So let's just hope that doesn't happen to your car tonight, eh? I don't remember exactly when Matthew and Amber started dating, although I do remember it had something to do with the Power to Change fall retreat, as already mentioned again. I don't know what went down that weekend, but clearly the Lord was moving. I do, however, remember the first time I met Amber. I was talking at a P2C meeting at University of Guelph and said that if I hadn't met anyone yet, I'd love to meet them afterwards. And right after it ended, Amber walked right up to me, shook my hand, and said, "Hi, I'm Amber," with a big, warm smile.
As for me, I can also clearly remember my first time meeting Amber. Well, maybe it wasn't so clearly because it was right after my wisdom teeth were removed. I was a little bit out of it. But this did make for an interesting first reaction. And I can clearly remember that from the start, we always got along really well. There was even talk of a dance-off the first time we met, but that is yet to happen, although I think we all know that I would win that. Yeah, but for real, it has been a pleasure getting to know Amber more over these past few years. From teasing her and Matthew whenever they would hang out together in the basement, that was always fun. To cottage and camping weekends where I would act as a barrier between them and the tent when all the kids had to sleep together. And also having really great faith talks. It has really been a true blessing and gave me a taste of what having an older sister would be like.
As for myself, since that first meeting at Power to Change, I've loved getting to know Amber and spend time with her, be it at Guelph, on camping trips, at the cottage, or just around the house chatting about biomed or anything related to school. I'm so thankful for her bright, joyful spirit, her constant laughter, and her intentional, caring servant heart. For those who don't know, Amber is an accomplished ballerina and scholar with some hefty scholarships to her name. She is currently studying to be a medical doctor at McMaster University, which is not only amazing, but we think it's also particularly great for Matthew, because Matthew has a bit of a rough track record for going to the hospital. So far, Matthew's ended up in the hospital for 1, drinking gasoline at the cottage, 2, breaking his foot in rugby, and 3, attempting to do a backflip into the pool, but not making it all the way, splitting his head open on the side of the pool. Matthew, I am thankful for the many years of great memories that we've shared together. I've enjoyed going to the same schools, the same youth groups, the same Bible study, playing at numerous worship nights together, as well as family camp, the cottage, Best Western, home group, fishing trips, and many more. And of course, the twin mix-up stories are always a good laugh. He is smart. He was the top student in his chem program last year at Guelph. He's athletic, musical, and genuine. I admire the ways in which he is so intentional with his work in music, to God and to those around him. And he always chooses his words with thoughtfulness and care.
It has also been a joy growing up with a big brother who I consider a great friend. While rarely being in the same school or youth group at the same time, countless cottage, camping, and family trips have made up for that. I also can't forget all the old games of Risk we used to play, where I would get absolutely destroyed. Uno, and of course, Killer Bunnies with the Strezes. Gotta love those ones. One of my favorite memories I've been able to share with Matthew was the opportunity to serve together at SOAR Montreal, which is a mission trip that we've been able to partake in a couple of years. Many, many fun stories and memories have arisen from these trips, from suffering through the food, to worship on the top of Mont Royal, and many stories that should not be shared and will not be shared. However, these trips did provide the amazing opportunity to grow together, not only as brothers and friends, but also as brothers in Christ. It was over these trips that I could truly start to see how devoted and passionate Matthew was to the things he cares about. It was amazing to see Matthew help out with worship with such passion, and his fearlessness in talking to strangers about the gospel. It has truly been an attribute I have looked up to.
A couple months ago, we were at my cousin and his wife's wedding in Cambridge. And during the speeches, my Uncle Randall gave the analogy of how the Bible is like our toolbox for life. And that really stuck with me that day. God has truly given us the foundation for everything we need to know for life in His Word. And I know that both of you, where did I lose my page? And I know that both of your lives are rooted in this toolbox that is the Bible. And you've committed your lives to bring honor to God, both individually and together, as we witnessed today. When asking some of your friends about some of the things they appreciated the most about the two of you, that was one of the main things that came up. I think that out of all your amazing qualities, this one will serve you best as you start this journey of marriage together and continue through life together.
We love you both so much and are so excited to see what God has in store for this next chapter of your lives together. And of course, we're excited to welcome another new sister to the family.
Cheers to the new couple.
Right. Cheers. I think we're going to hear some stories that really I know I've got a couple.